The next day, the last thing I remembered was our little "when was the last time you pissed yourself while sleeping" talk. I had to tell her about the time I got so drunk I wet my pants in the middle of the boarding house. She laughed so hard she started frothing at the mouth and passed out. What? I woke up with a splitting headache. Oh man, morning already? Light poured in through the frosted window. I pulled out my phone and checked the time. 7 in the morning. I'd gone to sleep somewhere between 2 and 3, which probably wasn't quite enough sleep. At least I didn't wake up to some horror movie scene. The building wasn't in ruins and the girl wasn't actually a skeleton. Though, in a way, this might have been worse. She was spread out on the floor on the other side of the mini table. Her breathing was mixed with some weird gurgling sounds. I hesitantly looked at her. The saint that saved me from the hell I was in last night had puked in the middle of her sleep. Ew. What was I supposed to do here? As a guest, I couldn't really be too harsh on her.
Chiemi-chan?
She wasn't waking up. Well, I just do what little I could. There, that should be good enough. I'd used tons of toilet paper to clean up her mess and flush it down the toilet. It left a stain on the floor, but it was dirty to begin with, so whatever. I'd even wet a towel and cleaned her face. Even then, she showed no signs of waking up. Some of it was on her hair and clothes, but I figured it was best if she took care of that herself.
Chiemi-chan.
What a heavy sleeper. The first hint of consciousness so far today.
ちょっと出ておくから。
Without waiting for a response, I walked to the entrance. She'd have to take a shower and change and all that, so I'd kill time outside. I stepped into my still damp shoes with my bare feet. My socks were in the washing machine with a towel she gave me to wipe my legs, and reached for the doorknob. I opened the door and was greeted by a gust of wind. The raindrops gathered on the leaves of the trees next to the building flew right into my face, making me grimace. The rain from last night was already over. The sky was pretty clear, but despite that, I noticed the visibility of my surroundings was poor. The building was surrounded by leaves. The old structure was basically buried in the forest of trees about as tall as itself. There were branches poking into the exposed hallway. It almost felt like they'd reached out and grabbed me if I wasn't careful. I kind of felt like I was in an overgrown ruin. I turned around and saw the room and Chiemi just as I left them. Yep, it was all real. I closed the door. There were other rooms in this building which made me wonder if they were occupied. Hell, I wondered the same thing about the area in general. I pushed the branches aside to see if there were other buildings nearby. Suddenly, something entered my vision. It didn't feel right. Something that shouldn't have been there. The leaves I moved revealed a woman clad in curious clothing. The moment I recognized her as such, she opened her closed eyes. Did our eyes meet? I don't know, you tell me. Another strong wind, I shielded my face from the spray of raindrops. When I looked outside again, the woman was nowhere in sight. Was that an illusion? If not, then what? What kind of place was this? It could have been a real Hicksville, a marginal village, a bunch of actual ruins, or an illegal settlement. I had some theories, but I set them aside for now. It seemed like a place worth exploring, regardless. Are we gonna explore the place? I went down the stairs and found no sign of the woman, or anyone else for that matter. A short distance away from the building, I turned around and sure enough, it was pretty much covered in trees. I went to the place where I saw the woman. There were footprints in the grass here. Maybe I'd find her if I followed them? Well, at least you know that he wasn't hallucinating because there were footprints, and those are evidence that something physical was there, a physical being, a human being was there, so we can eliminate the possibility of him seeing a ghost. They led me to an open area. It was unused, but it looked like someone was trying to do something with it. Was it supposed to be a construction site? Even if it was clearly abandoned. There were large rocks and lots of sediment near a prefab. From what I could tell, there had been a giant landslide and forced them to stop construction. The fact that plant overgrowth was still minimal meant that it had happened fairly recently. The footprints seemed to be going down the hill next to the site. Following them, I finally saw something that could be called civilization. There was a set of paddy fields with houses nearby. So this actually was a settlement. What a relief! I decided to keep following the footprints and approach the settlement. I came across another unpaved path that was clearly used by people and cars. It was lined with weeds and bushes reaching up to my waist. It was home to caterpillars and grasshoppers, among other things. Spiders were no exception. There was no shortage of insects there, so it was a good place for a net. I wasn't particularly scared of spiders, but I didn't like them either. At least they were just harmless orb weavers. Really, harmless orb weavers. They're creepy looking. That's what they are. Regardless, I avoided these bushes, just in case, and followed the path like the good city boy I was. There was a large boulder surrounded by grass. It was strangely tall, making it look like it was put there by people. On its dewy surface, there was a great tree frog ready to go after the many insects scattered about. I walked a bit further and came across a house with a small field nearby. The field's location made it safe to assume it belonged to the inhabitants. If there were inhabitants anyway, I couldn't see anyone, and just like always, there was grass everywhere. There was another boulder standing next to the house. This one was obviously placed there by human hand. What was the point? Was it a monument or something? The footprints continued into the field. The wet mud on the field was full of small, young, but healthy-looking rice plants. If you ignored the standing boulder in the area, the place looked like a normal farming village. I was both relieved and worried at the same time. From what I saw, there weren't any other buildings beside the ones in this settlement. Everything beyond was just mountains, meaning that this place was completely isolated. And I was a complete outsider. There was no way things would go well if I ran into a random local. I belatedly crouched to hide myself a bit. It was probably best for me to go back. Chiemi might have been looking for me. Good idea. Suddenly, I heard a sound. I looked for its source and found a speaker on a wooden utility pole in the middle of a small plaza. A morning broadcast? I'd never heard this tune before. It was cheerful at first, but had some parts that seemed really dark. I found it unsettling. Perplexed, I stopped walking, and what happened next made me hide myself. There was a person in the area densely surrounded by houses. But they weren't normal. Good grief, the sound effect was surprising. What was it with that appearance? What was that on her face? Though I was a fair distance away, I could see an old woman with some sort of cloth over her face shakily walk out from between the buildings. Oddly enough, there were boulders even there. But even weirder was the fact that she walked up to one of them, lightly joined her hands, and bowed her head before it, her face still hidden. Then, all was silence. It actually looked like she was revering it. To me, it looked like she was praying to it. This was really bad. Really bad. I'd wandered into a settlement with a unique culture, to put it lightly. Forget causing trouble. An outsider like me could get killed here. I just turned around and ran for it. I dashed up the hill, past the house, through the construction site, until I arrived back at the apartment building. Chiemi looked like a relatively reasonable person. Maybe she could tell me what was up. It just hit me that the way she described this place was somewhat weird. She basically said it wasn't normal.
あるいは、ちえみちゃんが恐るべき殺人鬼で、僕を酔っ払わせてぶっ殺す。
はあ、ヤマンバ。いいね。ブッシュブッシュ殺しちゃう。
That doesn't describe anything as being weird. No way. What if she was actually the bait they used to lure outsiders here? What if? Really? Eventually, the broadcast stopped. Chiemi still hadn't come out of her room. She didn't respond even when I knocked or called out to her. I didn't have to worry about this, right? That just made my inexplicable unease grow worse. What if this was a trap? Was I in a dangerous situation? I had to talk to her. If she was a normal person anyway, maybe my best option was to run away right now. I wouldn't know where to run. I couldn't remember the path we'd taken here, though I was pretty sure we'd went uphill, so maybe I had to go down? If I avoided the settlement and went back to the mountain stream, I could escape by following the wild roads. That was my best option, even with difficulties considered. Thankfully, I'd taken my bag with me. I took out a 5,000 yen note and put it in Chiemi's newspaper box. It was payment for last night's beer. That's a lot for just beer. The moment I turned around to take my leave, the door to the room next to the staircase opened slightly with a creak. I saw an eye glaring at me through the gap. That's one scream! Her high-pitched scream pierced my eardrums. I screamed too, scared shitless, and ran for it. Suddenly, I stepped onto the wet hallway floor at a bad angle. I fell. Thud, thud, thud.
はるちゃんどうした？
誰このおっちゃん。
あなた誰ですか？っていうか大丈夫ですか？
Okay, I pressed the A button sooner than I would have liked, so I ended up calling out this next line, so I apologize for that. The reasonable looking sound prompted me to shake off the pain and raise my head. What's with the uniforms? There were two boys in formal looking school uniforms.
大丈夫ですか？
He repeated the question.
ああ、ちょっと驚いただ
That
けで。
didn't sound like a guy's scream though. I thought that there was a girl and there was a guy. Apparently, two guys.
おっちゃん、ちえねえの友達？
Chiene?
ああ、ちえみちゃんのことか。大学のお知り合いですか？お知り合いが来るなんて聞いてなかった。いや、いろいろあって助けられたんだ。怪しいものじゃないんだ。怪しく見えるだろうけど。
You only make yourself even more suspicious if you add the line, "There's nothing shady about me." That only makes you look like an even shadier person.
怪しいな、おっちゃん。
どうすればいいのかな。とりあえず、名前は久石春明と言います。
僕は織部安永です。こっちは鴨志田近持。
Chikamachi, that's a weird name. That's another tongue twister kind of name.
モッチーだ。
Oh, okay, Mochi. Mochi it is. Good to know. If I called him that, maybe he'd stop calling me old man. I was only 24.
それでこっちが。春ちゃん何してんの？
Oh, so there is another person.
だって知らない人が。
Okay, so there is a woman with them. Apparently, this Haru-chan was the person who looked at me through the gap in the door and screamed.
とりあえず大丈夫そうだから出ておいでよ。
A moment later, she slammed the door shut, and after a few more moments of hesitation, opened it again. Whoa. She looked like a student too, except her fashion sense was exceptionally flashy.
あなた、誰ですか？
久石春明と言って、この近くでバイクで事故って、芹沢千恵美さんに助けられたんだ。
それって、もしかして。
Yeah. Yeah, he did, and he also got drunk with her.
止めてもらった。
She cut my words short with her ear-piercing shriek.
通りで騒がしかったと思った。何考えてるの？
What?
嫁入り前の女性の家に。
What? It wasn't noisy, was it?
それはその通りで、僕もちょっと躊躇はしたんだけど。
Kind of miss everything else she just said, did you, Haruaki?
ちえみちゃん？あれなれしい。それじゃあもしかして、ちえ姉が出てこないのって。ドアに5000円挟んであるじゃん。
You shattering scream.
久石さん。まさか。
違う。単に昨日お酒をおごられたから、そのお返しで。
ちえ姉の体が5000円って、そんな安いわけないでしょ？
Okay.
ただれてるな。
The hell were these kids saying?
君、助けてくれないか？
初対面で女性の部屋でお酒を飲んだんですか？そして知恵姉は出てこない。
That does seem suspicious. Crap, I had no allies here.
一体何事？
Nice timing, Chiemi! And so the subject of the conversation joined in.
おー、千恵美ちゃん、君からも事情を説明。
Something was off about her aura. What happened to the lively girl she'd been yesterday?
知恵姉、まさか。
恥ずかしいとこを見られちゃった。
おお！
What's going on?
いや、ちょっと待って、ちょっと。
What the heck's going on?
もう嫁行けない。
What the hell? Man, what a mess! Though Chiemi's face was all pale, she was actually grinning. She obviously had a bad hangover, but that didn't stop her from messing around. After calming everyone down, Chiemi explained what actually happened. How we met in the middle of the night. How she let me stay out of goodwill. How we drank ourselves silly and how nothing happened between us.
いやー、久々に深酒しちゃって思いっきり吐いちゃったよ。春明さん、お見苦しいとこ申し訳ない。
You should also thank Harouki for cleaning up your mess.
いや。
But then again, you did help him out, so I guess you guys can call it even? That Haru-chan girl still looked at me funny.
非常識。
申し訳ない。昨日は本当に疲労困憊でね。 つい好意に甘えてしまったんだ。
まあ、知恵ねえだしな。雑把だよな。
True.
事情も事情だし、年寄りたちも納得するかな。
What elders? What are we talking about?
ちなみに、会ったのってどこです？
それはね。
下の方の河原だよ。
My words made everyone change their expressions.
それは、ちょっと。
大騒ぎだ。
Why? What's so big a deal about it?
二人もだなんて。
もしかして、まずいこと
Yeah,
言っ
what's
た。
going on? I'm confused.
はあ、まあ、いずれバレることよ。さっきあれだけ大騒ぎしちゃったから、休みず中に知れちゃったろうし。
君、2日連続で2人持って。
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
触らないで。汚い。
Hey! I wasn't trying to touch her, and it wasn't filthy. Sure, I hadn't had a bath in over a day, but still.
君、何が騒ぎになるの？
タエバあたりが拒否ってなる。
What? Well, that sure sounded bad, but I didn't understand a word of
詳
it.
しい話を聞かせてくれない？
ちょっと説明は難しいんですけど、まあ、ここは田舎なんで、町といろいろ違うってことですよ。
Okay, we already know that. This guy here was Oribe-kun. Ignore Chiemi, and he was the easiest person to talk to.
どうすればいいかな？
まあ、ちえみがなんとかしましょう。学生諸君はとりあえずご飯行かないと。
この混乱には乗るっきゃない。
What mess?
乗るっきゃなくないもっち。とりあえず行っちゃいな。私らちょっと遅れていくから。
What the hell's going on?
まあ、ちょっと時間ずらした方がいいよね。揉めそうだし。
Disagreements about what?
さすがやすくん、察しがいいぞ。ごめんけど、二人のおもり、よろしくね。
うん。
もう知恵ね。子供扱いはやめてよ。
But you're acting like one.
そうだ。うんこしてやるぞ。
You both are acting like children.
ほらほら行くぞ、モッチーにはるちゃん。
And so the students walked off towards the stairs. It was kind of easy to tell what sort of relationship they had. Anyway.
彼らが、この建物の他の住人？
そういうこと。学生寮だからね。
No, I didn't. I didn't know. A student dorm? In this Hicksville? Still, my senses had betrayed me. There actually were other people here.
ちなみに春秋さん、他の人と出会ってトラブったりしてないよね。
No, he didn't. He ran away. He didn't ran into.
あ、うん。一応それ警戒してたから。
ならよかった。よし、ちょっとしたら食堂に行きましょう。
あ、朝食？
の、朝食は今から食べてください。食堂へは一応、面通しをしに行くの。
That's weird.
誰と？
よそ者が皿長からやってきたってことに、文句を言いそうな人たち。
Saranaga. Oh, so like that Taiba person, huh?
お世話になります。
いいってことです。その代わり、朝のことは秘密で。
Are you puking while you're asleep?
そりゃあもちろん。ところで、皿長って何？
I was about to ask the same question. What is Saranaga?
そう。皿長の瀬っていう川だけど、あの辺まとめて皿長って呼ぶの。ちょっと曰くのある場所でね。
Okay.
曰く。
I feel like that's an important bit of information.
うん。あの川は汚れていて、死人が帰ってくる、みたいな伝説がね。
I just realized I have now played, counting this one, I played 3 visual novel games that all have the theme of the dead returning from another side. Consecutively. Oh. So that's why they reacted like that.
他にもその手のルールというか、しきたりみたいなのが？
たくさんあります。なので基本、ちえみちゃんにお任せを。
Okay, I understand. Gladly, on all fronts.
ちなみに、身の危険とかは？
ないない。でも、いろいろ不愉快な思いをする前に、早く出ていけた方がいいかも。
But you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you. How can anyone believe you telling them that they're not in danger and then follow it up by you should try to escape before something unpleasant happens to you?
そのための根回しに行くと。
そうそう。
The settlement I'd strayed to was a weird place, but at least the guide was reliable. And she wanted me to leave ASAP, huh? That was depressing. Chiemi gave me some cup ramen for breakfast. She boiled the water in a small electric kettle. The girl herself was too hungover to eat anything. I did take the opportunity to pay her back for last night's drink in person, though. Then we made our way to the dining hall.
この岩って何なの？
一応お守りみたいなもの？昔からあるよ。
よそでは見たことないよ。
ああ、言われたらそうかも。
She led me along a narrower path than I'd followed earlier. It didn't seem like any cars used this one. It was very farmy, I guess. This area was also littered with those boulders. Some were cracked, broken, or half buried in the fields. They were clearly religious symbols, but it didn't look like they were that important these days. Or were they? Now that I knew I was safe, I once again became curious about this place.
あ、人だ。
He was working on the field.
たくみ兄ちゃんだ。おはよう。
Chiemi waved her hand. The man responded, but then froze mid-wave.
じゃあ行きましょう。
いいの？多分あの人、僕の存在に驚いたんじゃ。
大丈夫。どうせ後で食堂に来るから、説明はその時にするってことで。
Well, if she said so. As an outsider, I had no choice but to rely on her. This was the part of the village I saw this morning, where the buildings were most densely packed. I didn't notice it back then, but it was actually kind of weird. Basically, it felt desolate. The wooden bungalows, in particular, were more or less overgrown, buried in tall grass and other greenery. If this was all I saw of the village and someone told me it was abandoned, I'd have easily believed them. However, two of the buildings stood out. There was a hall right beyond the hill. It wasn't that big, but it looked grand and well-maintained. The other building was obviously the dining hall. It looked a bit dirty, but I could tell there were people inside. From what I could tell, it was the most lively place in this poor excuse for a community. Suddenly, the three students walked out, chatting about something.
あ、知恵ね。臭いしさ。
Wow. The excitement from having seen us is palpable.
再度おはよう。ちょっと遅くない？
モッチーがバカなことばっか言って遅くなっちゃったんだもん。
そうだ、僕が悪だ。味噌汁をよこせ。
まあ早足なら間に合うでしょ。みんなしっかり勉強しといで。
Half dashing, the three ran up the path we came from.
みんな高校生なんだ。
そう。山をぐーっと登ったところに分校があるんだ。
How
私も3年前まで
far
通って
up,
たな。
all the way up the mountain is the school?
やたら不便だね。
それでもみんな、あの寮に住める分、優遇されてるんだけど。
Chiemi was entirely straight-faced. There wasn't even a hint of a smile.
さあ、気合を入れて入りましょう。
Is she gonna slap her face to get herself psyched?
そうしましょう。
Much enthusiasm.
気合入んない。
Neither was I. We laughed a little and passed the curtain.
いらっしゃい。あら。
The inside was as aged as the outside, but it looked well maintained.
ちえみちゃん、お客さん？
The hostess-looking lady asked. Though somewhat aged and fatigued, she was definitely beautiful. There were two others beside her. One was a lady in her 70s or 80s. She was probably the one I saw this morning. The silhouette matched. The other was a man who seemed a bit younger than her, probably in his late 60s. Though they were just sitting there, there was a menacing aura about them.
うん。紹介するね。久石春明さん。昨日の晩、皿長で迷ってたのを、ちえみが保護しました。
Their reactions were powerful. Especially the old lady. Look at the old lady's face. The lady gasped, while the two elders rose to their feet with alarm. The tension that was already there the moment I walked in reached its peak.
気にするのもわかるけど、これは単なる偶然です。あの子と違って、この人は素性が明らかだし、バイクで旧道に突っ込んで事故ったって非常に気の毒な事情もある。そんなわけで、我々としては、この人がちゃんと帰れるように手伝ってあげるのがいいと、ちえみは思います。どうですか？皆様方。
After saying all that, Chiemi fell silent. The ball was in their court now. Much silence.
それは大変。
The lady voiced a harmless opinion, careful not to upset the old people. It was pretty clear who was in charge. They were elders in more ways than one.
ちいちゃんは、なんで夜に皿長なんぞ言っとったかね。
虫の知らせかな。前の日にあんなことあったし、眠れなかったから。
Like, you know, the conversation so far, especially when it comes to Chiemi's side, it really feels like she's hiding something. And I'm really looking forward to knowing what it is that she seems to be hiding.
そいじゃあ、やっぱり読み人じゃない。
Oh, hello, Yomibito. It means someone who came back from the dead. Like, you know, we played another game, another visual novel game, and another game from P-Cube Games that has a Yomibito in it. If you guys remember. From the conversation, it was pretty clear that something had happened before I arrived here. It was probably similar to what happened with me. She'd mentioned some little girl. Perhaps there was a child who'd wandered in here like I did? According to Chiemi, the Sarangap Rapids were a place of significance around here. It was a place from which dead people came to life or whatever. Oh, so this Tai must have been lady that Boyd mentioned, and the Yomibito must have been a term for the dead who came back from here. Apparently, the primary goal here was convincing these elders to approve helping me.
Oi, どっから来た?
The old man's voice put my derailed mind back on track.
はい、東京です。
いくつじゃ?
年は24です。
ちいより上じゃが。
He chuckled. I immediately realized he was taking a jab at me for hiding behind a younger girl.
申し遅れました。久石春明です。芹沢さんにも紹介された通り、バイクで事故って迷い込みました。どうやら僕は、ここでは異分子のようで、変なことを言ったりしたりして、皆さんに迷惑かけたくないなと。それで、芹沢さんに紹介をお願いしたんですが、僕から改めてお願いします。
Yes, what are you going to say?
すぐ出て行きますから、それまでは僕の存在を多めに見ていただけないかと。それと、僕を助けてくれた芹沢さんを責めないであげてください。
春明さん。
おそらく芹沢さんは、ここの常識を外れたところで、僕を助けてくれたんだと思うんです。学生たちもみんな驚いてた。
まあ。
これでも大人です。自分の責任は自分で取りますし、皆さんにかけた迷惑
Well,
は
that's a
可能な
mature
限り償います。
response to what these elders and these people are telling him.
ですので、どうかお願いします。
I bowed my head.
ちゃんとしとる、タイバ
あたしゃあすかんわね。そんなに髪を茶色に
Do you have any qualms with people with brown hair? Shit, I forgot I didn't look very presentable to more traditionalist people.
よそは皆こうよ。はよう返せばええ。
ほいじゃあ好きにしなさいね。
I guess I got their half-hearted approval?
春秋。春か。うちの孫も春じゃ。紛らわしい。
あ、もしかして
そう、はるちゃんのおじいさんの牧島勘三さんよ。
どうも。
I didn't know what else to say. Haru-chan and I weren't on the best of terms so far. Anyway, it seemed like we were past the difficult part.
皿長に突っ込んだか。
いえ、コンビニで道を聞いた後、脇道に入って未舗装になったところで滑り落ちて、横転しました。
で、皿長登ったか。なぜ途中で引き返さ
Good
ねえ。
question. He wasn't impressed by my choice of actions. It just hit me that I had no idea how much time passed between the crash and my meeting with Chiemi.
わしと匠で見てきちゃる。
匠は他を見よるわよ。
タイバ、追い出す思うて手伝わせ。
カンちゃんはいっつもそうね。
ばあちゃん、おやさん、どうした？
He looks like a big buff guy. We're joined by a new inhabitant.
ちえみ、こいつは？
あ、たくみ姉ちゃん。
Oh, so he was the one we saw in the field. Wow, he sure looked big from up close. All that field work was good for his muscles, clearly. And from what I could tell, he was in his 30s. As Chiemi introduced me and told him of my situation, I found out his name, Takumi Muro.
ああ、そいつは災難だったな。ああ、おやさん。
わしとお前で拾う。
だな。ばあちゃん、こいつ助けっからちょっと待っててな。もう農薬は巻き終わってるから、昼か
What
ら。
are they gonna pick up?
匠は優しいね。
This game is like, they're trying to hide bits and pieces in the dialogues and making it like difficult to piece together what the mystery is, what the overall arcing mystery is. And I know that it's because we're just beginning, but I also know that there are some games that right off the bat you are told of what mystery you're trying to uncover in a particular game, and this one is still making me scratch my head with how they are trying to hide this stuff from us.
こんなもんなんでもないって。すぐ何もなかったようにできるからよ。
Oh, really? Let's see then.
そうね。
Nothing, eh?
お兄ちゃんや。
え、僕ですか？はい。
ここは安水言うて
It
ね。
ain't a good place.
あんまりええ場所じゃないんよ。
Again, can you elaborate why that is? Huh? It was a place that wasn't good? Not my presence here?
あたしらもよそのもんが苦手だし、よそのもんも触れんがええ。
Well, it's not like he had a choice. Well, actually he did. Several times. He could have turned back, but he didn't. So yeah, it's his choice.
はよ出てお行き。
You should hurry and leave.
はい。そのつもりです。
That is the plan.
話はついた感じか？
ありがとう、たくみ兄ちゃん。
I was beginning to understand how things worked here. Although Kanzo Makashima's voice was the most powerful here, it was also important to get Tai-san's approval. Kanzo-san was probably in charge of tackling the settlement's practical problems, while Tai-san provided spiritual and moral direction. And when it was time to be civilized, Takumi-san came and convinced Tai-san acting as an intermediary. It looked like Takumi-san himself understood such subtleties, and Chiemi seemed to rely on this side of him.
はい。ここらで一つどう
And we
ぞ
still don't know what this woman's name is. The lady brought some tea to the old folk. Perfect timing.
おお、香織さん。俺には飯頼むぜ。
Oh, Kaori, so her name. So that's her name.
朝早く
Also,
から
Oribe.
様でした。大盛りにしますからね。
Is she related with that dude, the one of the students?
なーに、安水とばあちゃんと香織さんのためならへでもねえよ。
まあ。
These two sure seem to get along. They looked about the same age too. Are they a couple?
さあ、お客さんもご飯にされます？
Domo. No?
いえ。
Oh yeah, you already ate.
それじゃあ、お茶をどうぞ。おにぎりでもお出ししま
Oh, I
しょう。
would really love some onigiri. Like in real life, I would like to have
それ
some.
は
ごめんなさい。ちょっと急ぎで電話借りていいかな、香織さん。
Oh?
それはいいけど、お茶くらいは。
うん、ありがとう。でもほんと緊急だから。行こう、春明さん。
うん。
It didn't look like I could say no. Yeah, it didn't feel like that as well. We went up the nearby staircase to what seemed like a living space. At the end of the creaky hallway, there was a black rotary phone, a rarity in this day and age.
これがここ、安水唯一の電話だから。
Okay? Seriously?
ちなみに、携帯電話はどのキャリアも通じませんので。
Well, at least she knows what a mobile phone is and what a mobile service provider is.
そうなのか。でもどこに電話しろって？
ロードサービスとか、保険とか、あと必要なら家族にも連
Well, that
絡。
makes sense. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, that made sense. Hell, I should have been the one to say that.
さっきも言ったけど、できるだけここを早く出られた方がいいから、使えるものは何でも使いましょう。
よそ者が歓迎されない場所だから？
そういうことです。
Straight to the point.
それ以上の詮索は無用と。
春明さんは、とっても察しがいい。それはいいことだと思う。ただ、好奇心もとっても強く見える。
バレたか。
バレますとも。でも正直、あんまりいろいろ首突っ込まない方がいいかも。
And we know for a fact that telling him that is moot point because I doubt that the game is going to end just right here when they're trying to help him get out. Because again, this is raging loop. Things will have to loop several times for us to get to the bottom of whatever mystery is being presented to us hidden among all of these texts.
どうせすぐに別れるんだし。
その通り。
なんだか寂しいな。
お、ちえみちゃんのメアド御所も？
くれるならぜひ。
He didn't even hide it.
これで男友達53人目。
3.
テンションガタ落ちですわ。
That's one way of putting a guy down. We still went on to exchange our info. I could only hope that being number 53 wasn't a big a problem as it sounded.
それはともかく、個人的興味で言えば、何が問題になってて、どんな背景があるのか知りたいのだけど。
That is a valid question.
おすすめしないな。
Why?
なぜかな。
私が不愉快になるから。
That's not a valid answer.
あんまり、故郷が好きじゃない？
うん。正直、嫌い。
ここの人とは仲良さそうに見えるけど。
ああ、それは見えるだけですね。私相当の問題児だったんで、ご年配方とは結構気まずいよ。それに、パッと見はわからないいろんなしがらみもあるし。まあ、住人自体はそんなに嫌いじゃないけどね。
With that, I decided to stop prying about this place any further. I'd back away before she came to hate me.
あ、でも、一つだけ聞いていい？
いい度胸。何かな？
Gutsy.
室匠さんのこと好きだったりする？
え？私が？
Yes, that was the question.
うん。
さすがにそれはないな。匠兄ちゃんかっこいいけど、ごつすぎるし、10以上年違うし、対象外です。それに、匠兄ちゃんは昔から香織さん一筋だし。
I knew it.
やっぱそうなんだ。結婚してるわけじゃないの？
うん。香織さん、未亡人だから。
She's a widow. Well, that seemed complicated. That aside, Chiemi had been acting a bit strange. Why had she dragged me away from the tea? It seemed so awkward too. Assuming she hadn't been jealous of Kaori-san and simply didn't want her to charm me, it would mean that she just hadn't wanted me to drink the tea. Why? Also, why'd she feed me cup ramen if I could just have gotten food at the dining hall? Those are really valid points of those are really good questions to ask. It didn't even occur to me to ask those questions. Looking too deep into things was part of my nature, though things were never as bad as I assumed. I went on to call my insurance company, where I found out something. Apparently, this village was hundreds of kilometers away from the nearest service station, meaning I was ineligible for the normal service and had to pay extra. And the extra was no small amount too. It actually went over 100,000 yen. Also, I could have avoided this if I'd taken a more expensive plan. This was all my own fault for not taking the bike salesman's advice. Shit. I said I would consider it and hung up. Then I went back to the dining hall. What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to let me know. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to be a part of the Dreamer Tribe, just hit on that subscribe button. We also have tons of different content here on my channel, so be sure to check those out. Until the next video, dream on, fly on.